Sveki, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Dylan Crouch on the Couch, episode 4 this week. Wow, time is flying.
Sure is.
Congrats to the winner from this week. Unfortunately, don't want to announce this, but it was Nick Semkin for guessing the language, which was, I'm not actually sure what it was.
It was Indonesian, yeah.
Yes, so well done to Nick for that one. And again, let us know your guesses for this week.
Yes.
Just a couple little quick shout outs before we start the podcast this week. Dylan, you want to start us off with those?
Yes, we do. We got a request in to give one of our previous guests, Kili Masuga's business, a shout out. She makes little keychains and she's raising some money. So good on it. It's good of her to be doing that. And yeah, so shout out to you, Kili.
Yeah, I think she's donating a lot of that money to charity. So well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Good stuff. And then just quick shout out to me that Toby's mate, Blake. We've just heard recently he's getting the help he needs. So that's that.
Yes.
Awesome. So shout out to you, mate.
Yeah, well done, Blake. Good stuff, mate. And then another bit of a little exciting announcement for the podcast, I think.
Exciting.
We are currently, nothing confirmed as we speak, but we're in the middle of some business talks and trying to acquire a partnership that would potentially result in multiple prizes being available for us to be given out to our podcast listeners, which is quite exciting. So stay tuned and hopefully some announcements will be made shortly.
Yes, awesome. Alrighty. Ready to get straight into our guest this week?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a big one this week. We've got Lachy Batterham. Welcome, mate. How are the kids?
G'day. Yep, hanging in there. Yeah, how it is?
Good. Great to hear. So we'll get straight into background info here. We've heard you got 3 siblings. 2 of them are twins, in fact. Is that correct?
This is true.
Beautiful.
Accurate, yeah.
Awesome. I heard you played guitar in grade 6.
Oh, wow. Done your research. Yes, sir.
Yes, I have. I think most of us know this. You like to cook, and I've also got written down here. You cannot cook carbonara. Is that true?
That's false. Okay. So it's just the one time, but no, I've worked on it. I can cook it now.
That's good. So. Good stuff. And you're of Indian heritage.
that is true as well. Correct.
Awesome. Good stuff. And this is one here for the Aquinas downball students. You potentially are a underrated downball player in our...
Oh, wow. Wow, I'll take that. I'm happy with that. Underrated.
Yeah. I reckon you're pretty good out there on the courts, you know?
I back myself against most people current. So,
You'd definitely back you against me, for sure. That's for sure.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. No, well, yeah. Look, I've played for the top 6 once, so that's all that needs to be said. But it is what it is.
A couple of my sources have given me some information as well, and I've got written down here. I did know this actually, but it says here powerhouse all rounder at the Ringwood Rams Cricket Club. Can you give us a bit of insight into that one?
Yeah, back in the day, down at the Ringwood Rams, I think we're talking a good like 4 years ago now, actually.
Yeah, long time.
No, mate, yeah, a long time ago. I used to play down at the Rams with yours truly. We had Crouchy down there, mate. He bowled the tweakers, Fruit Loops, pies, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, absolute Fruit Loops.
No, that was a bit of a super team, you know. It was Will Macklin down there, Connor O'Brien.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Still robbed of that finals. Still a bit hurt from that where we didn't make finals. But anyway,
I think about it every night.
Anyway, I've also got here part-time producer. Producer. That's
part-time.
Really
I'd say casual, but I'll take part-time.
Okay. How's that going along? Is that going successful?
No, it's good.
So
it's just it's good. It's a bit of a hobby while we're all locked inside. You know, it's something to do. So
absolutely.
I didn't know you're a bit of a musician, guitar and a producer.
Well, guitar playing, that's pretty loose to say I know how to play guitar. I hit the strings and sometimes something comes out. That's all there is to it. But yeah.
No, I did give
right.
the last little mix a bit of a listen. That was very nice. Very, very
Thank
nice.
you.
And
I appreciate that.
Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you have like anywhere we can hear it?
I'll just plug the SoundCloud while we're here. Why not? Nah, yeah, just on SoundCloud. I think it's just my name, but yeah,
Cool.
not much up there so far, but hopefully more to come.
That's why everyone at home, give it a listen.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Looking forward to hearing that at a
Appreciate
couple of
it.
parties when all this is over.
Oh, yeah.
So that'll be good.
Beautiful.
And just my last little point I have here is voted Bunnings hardest worker of the year Australia last 2 years. Wow, that's a pretty big achievement.
Yeah. Look, I guess I just know the right people in the right places, but this is what happened. Look, I didn't know you could win that award actually, but I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. I just load people's cars, really. There's not much to it.
You've even got the Bunnings hoodie on at the moment as well. Just plugging that as well.
One of the only hoodies I own. So
paid sponsorship.
Paid sponsorship. This is true.
Yeah, Bunnings, if you're listening,
Yeah, send some merch our way, please. Please.
All right, we'll move on to. We've got a few stories here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon, Dylan? Move on to these.
Yeah, you can get right into those, mate.
So, yeah, if the listeners don't know, I have been friends with Batters or Lachy since year 7, I'd like to say.
Yeah,
probably earlier because of the Rams.
I reckon, Rams back in like grade 6 or so, around then.
Yeah. So I've got a few stories here. I was actually struggling to think of a few, but I've got a couple. The first one is a really interesting one and still gets me to this day. And I'm not going to mention specific teachers' names or anything because it is a school-related story, but I will go into it into some detail. And basically, year 9, we were on city experience in year 9, and what happens is you spend, I think it was 2 weeks in the city.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Basically, just free roaming. Pretty good. Kicking the footy and stuff is all we were doing. But anyway, and there was this one time, and there was about in Rice, which is our house, who was there at the time. I think there was about. I reckon there would have been almost 20 of us that were kind of all mates, and we were kind of hanging out when we had the free time and stuff. And we were regrouping at, what station was it? Southern Cross. We were regrouping at Southern Cross. And one of the teachers said, alrighty, just head off into this shopping centre. Make sure you're back by a certain time. We'll say 1:30. And then we'll have to catch a train back home. So we head off. I think we just completely misheard what he said, and we happened to hop on the City Loop train and head to... Where did we head, actually? I think we head to Melbourne Central.
Melbourne Central, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, and all 20 of us, so we're all there. Just all we wanted was a boost. But anyway.
That's all we wanted.
So we head there, and for those who don't know, the City Loop only runs one way during the day, so... We found out this the hard way at about 1:25 or 5 minutes before we were due back. We decided to go down and look for the trains. Turns out they don't run back the way they came. Puts us in a bit of strife. Then we ran up to, I think we ran up to the tram, maybe?
Look, it's all foggy. It's so long ago, but I'm pretty sure, we did get the tram in the end.
And we run up to the tram. We see the tram. We're running towards it. And one of our mates, Lee, shout out Lee if you're listening, was... on crutches at the time because of a knee injury. And I seem to remember, I'm not very clear, but I seem to remember Batters Lee saying, oh, guys, wait up. I'm on crutches, just wait for me, like hold the tram up and stuff. And Batters just going, nah, forget about him, and just bolting off into the tram, just bolting off. Don't worry about him, leave the weakest behind, all this kind of stuff. Crazy stuff. Anyway, and then we get on the tram and we eventually made it back, but it was about, how late do you reckon we were? We were about half an hour late or something, weren't we? It was pretty bad.
Oh, pretty late, yeah.
Everyone had already left. It was just us. Yeah, that's that one.
Well,
And
no one offered to pick him up and carry him, so I was thinking we've only got one other option here. I just wanted to get home, but yeah. No, good times. City experience as a whole. That's a good laugh.
Absolutely. It was good times.
Yeah.
The second story I've got here was I was at your house, staying at your house for the night, and I think we decided we must have been going to play basketball or something a bit late. It was getting dark, and we decided we'd go and get a Slurpee from the 7-Eleven near your joint. I'm not going to say where that is because we don't want.
Don't expose me, please.
Yeah, exactly right. And we were walking to the 7-Eleven. I think we got the Slurpee. On the way back, we ran into someone. Would you like to explain who we ran into?
Yeah, so we were just walking past. I think there was like a block of units or something, just a few houses in one area, and where it's pretty late, and we're pretty much alone. So we were, not even any cars going past or foot traffic whatsoever. And the bloke just pulls out in front of us, just walking his two dogs. And these dogs were huge, let me tell you. They're I'm not sure on the breed, but
I think it was a Rottweiler. I seem to remember it was a Rottweiler. Like,
look,
huge.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like it's dark and the memory is pretty hazy, but it could have been a wolf for all I know. Those things were gigantic. And he's a friendly bloke though, so he struck up conversation. Me and Crouchy were like 15 or 16, so we're a bit worried for our lives at this point. And what's he? He's asked us some interesting questions. Personal details we'll leave out, but scared me after death, and don't leave the house after sundown anymore. So thanks for that.
I think the details we're missing out there. We can explain because me and Batters, we're not into this kind of stuff. We can say we're very innocent in this.
Of course.
Say this topic kind of.
Look, it's not our lifestyle to indulge in the sort of things he was offering us, but
exactly right. And basically, he was offering if we wanted to buy some.
Look, it rhymed with
substances.
Beth, so it rhymed with Beth, and we'll leave it at that.
That's exactly right, and we'll move on.
Bloody hell.
Another one I've got here is your famous dog, Charlie. Infamously known as Wosam, as some might know as Wosam. And I'd just like you to give us a bit of insight into Wosam, and also I'd like to say this dog, beautiful dog, but every time I've been to your house and I get up to go to the toilet or something at like 12 o'clock at night, scared for my life. This thing, never seen a dog get more aggressive so late at night. It was just scary stuff, and just never walked around a house quieter. That's all I can say.
Yeah. No. Wosam. Oh God, there's a theme of a bit of animal cruelty on this podcast, isn't there? No, Wosam.
This is the third episode of animal cruelty being brought up.
Jesus.
Wosam's short for waste of space and money. That was. I think I'll handball that one off and say it was Harry Downs who came up with that acronym. I think we'll say that was him. But just a very aggressive Jack Russell for not many good reasons. I'm not sure, just like territorial or your brain cells just not there. But she particularly hated you, Crouch. I'm not sure why.
I don't know why. But yeah, Wosam.
No idea.
Does like to attack me from time to time, so
yeah.
Then the last story I've got here, which I believe it'd be better if you tell, is about the time Edithvale, I think it was, at the beach.
Oh yeah.
So you can take it from here.
This is a good one. This one involves Crouchy as well. This is a great story. So, who was it? I think it's me, Crouch, Jono, Joe, Harry. I reckon it was all of us. We're down at Edithvale Beach on a hot summer's day, soaking in the rays, just having a good time. I think we'd pulled out the footy, kicking the footy around, and down at the beach, a pair of ladies walk past. These girls walk past and sit not further than say 10 meters away from us. I'd say just down the beach. They just set up their towels, and Crouchy's first thing Crouchy said, of course, he's seen them and gone, gosh, they're a good-looking pair of women. You know, that's the first thing that's come out of his mouth. And I thought, all right, good, you know, calm down here. But so we're kicking the footy, and I think the rest of us all get the idea. It'd be funny to sort of just kick the ball down to where they were and stage it a bit and make Crouchy go and get it and initiate a bit of a conversation maybe. We were playing matchmaker, but I think Jono or someone's just kicked it down perfectly. It's sitting right next to him. Crouchy's gone down to get it, and we're going, as he's about to leave, we're telling him, we're like, go on, just say good day, just, you know, introduce yourself, like sit next to him, you know, they've been looking at us, obviously, you know, just have a chat. And Crouchy's walked over and he's picked up the ball and he's sort of just taken one look at him. I think they've looked at him and they've made eye contact. And I tell you what, he's gone a shade of white, and he's hit the legs faster than I've ever seen anyone leave anything. He's sprinted that 10, 15 metres in 0.2 seconds. He'd give Bolt a run for his money. That's how quick he was. But he's come back over with the footy, and we're all pissing ourselves. And yeah, that was it. He never worked up the courage to say good day. But as we were leaving, I think we would all agree that they did wave goodbye. So it was mission accomplished in the end.
They did. So I must have done something right.
Oh, you must have. Oh, of course. And the best part is we're on the train heading home, and Crouchy gets a notification on his phone. We must have been yelling the name Crouch a lot because they've hunted him down on Instagram and chucked him a follow.
How have they done that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Good on them, but yeah. No, we won't disclose names, but yeah, no. Good on them.
Yeah, we won't disclose names, but I think they did have probably about 10,000 followers between the two of them. So
I'd say so. Believe it.
It was just it was intimidating. What can I say?
It was.
We'll move on from that. I don't think we need to sit on that any longer. I believe we have some questions from our.
Yes, we do.
This week.
Yeah, our first one here is from Sophie Tanzmat and Molly McDonald. They're asking about the cooking skills. They just want to know, what's going on there?
Yeah. Look, yeah, we were in a food set class together. We were a bit of a team, us three in the kitchen. I carried that team, and that was pretty obvious, I think. But yeah, I think I've gotten better at cooking, but I'm still not quite at Miss Redmond level. If you know, that'll be a little pointer for Sophie and Molly. They'll know what I'm talking about. But I haven't quite reached that peak yet. But you know, you keep trying and see what happens.
Awesome, thank you.
Got a question here sent in from Max Schmidt. Thank you for sending this one in, Max. Short and sharp, just says Sainters 2021 with a question mark. I'd like a bit of context of this one. I'm a bit confused as well. So
yeah. No, that's referring to the well-known basketball team, the SEBC Saints. Bit of an Aquinas team down there. We had myself, we had Jono, Sam Blewett, Joe Donavi, Tyrese, Liam Kehoe and Max Schmidt. I don't think I'm forgetting anyone. So yeah, quite an all-star team there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we were in the semi, I think we were, and before this whole crisis came about and ruined our hopes and called the season off. So yeah, Max, I'd like to return for 2021. You know, so yeah, that'd be good, I reckon.
Yeah,
I reckon. If go on.
I went to a couple of your games and some talent in that team. I'm telling you now.
You did.
I've been to a few of those games.
Good luck charm. Right? I think whenever you came, we dominated. So.
Just a cheer squad, you know.
Yeah, that's what we needed.
I was about to say if anyone listening can get maybe a match organised between the Saints and I think it was the 91 Dream Team. Maybe get that organised because I think that'd definitely be a close match.
I think that would be a very close match. It'd be a real nail biter. So.
Or I could even bring in Nick Semkin and Jamie Treby also played our G Reserve Tuesday night men's team. I reckon could give you both a run for your money. So
bit of competition.
G Reserve.
Wow. All right.
Wow.
All right. G Reserve.
Yeah.
I love it.
I've got a question here from a good friend of all of us here, Harry Flack. I know he's a really good mate of yours, and he goes, what was going through your mind when you were thinking of doing the eyebrow slit?
Oh, I pulled that one out. Fair play to him. Look, I'd like to tell a lie and say I lost a bet or it was a dare or something, but nah, I just fancied myself and thought it would be good for a laugh. I was mistaken, but yeah, thanks, Lachy. Thanks for reminding everyone of that.
And then the last one here also needs a bit of context for the listeners. It's from Noah Bailey, so thanks, Noah Bailey, for writing into the show, mate. He goes, how do you obtain your numerous stickers in English?
That's a great question. So I think most classes would have the same sort of system here. Whereas like you do a practice essay, you get a sticker on the chart type thing. Just keeping track of your progress, building up to a stack. And I think our English class is pretty behind on that sort of thing. So we'd all done maybe one practice sack, 1.5. But for whatever reason, every time we came to class, there was another sticker next to my name. So by the end of the term, I had about 8 or 9 practice sacks supposedly done. But I honestly, I couldn't tell you. No, I've got no idea where they were coming from. Yeah, no idea.
Did you, be honest, did you buy them? What shop did you buy the stickers from? So you get the same ones as the teacher?
Okay, the $2 shop.
It is always amusing walking into English and seeing how many stickers has Batters got today.
Always a good time.
Alrighty, thanks everyone for writing in this week.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think that just about wraps it up. Does it, Dylan? I think.
Quickly before you go, mate, just wondering how your stainless steel meat salad sandwich maker's going.
Stainless steel meat salad sandwich maker. It's in the trash actually. That one.
Oh, you're throwing it out.
Yeah, it was no good. So I've invested in a new one, and it's just zinc plated this time with a galvanized finish. So it should do the job a bit better, I think.
Good stuff, mate.
No, thanks for that. Thank you.
That's all right, no worries. We'll leave that one there. So thanks again, Lachy, for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Pleasure having you
thanks
on.
heaps. Thanks heaps, Batters.
Okay. You
So move.
crowd competition.
Yeah. Alrighty. So thanks to all participants who entered for this week. Once again, a special mention to Ben Livingston for for trying again to win the crowd competition and once again failing. Well done, mate. Obviously, keep sending in your competition attempts. They're not going to win, mate, but keep trying. And then congratulations to Katie Prendergast this week, who won, uploading a photo of, I believe it was, what was the photo of, Dylan?
It was her dressed up. I think it was her dressed up as Winnie the Pooh, and she made like a little. It was like a. She reenacting like a. Picture of it. It was like an edit she made. Pretty cool.
It was very nice. So well done, Katie, for winning the competition and now in the running against the other 3 people in the competition for the prize, which now it could be an even bigger prize with the partnership deals in the works. So that's interesting.
Could be for sure.
But so just remember to keep entering this week for a chance, and I'm hoping these talk about the extra prizes. I'm hoping we can get that information out to you guys soon, so it just adds a bit of incentive to keep sending in attempts at the competition.
Send in whatever.
Thank you all.
Send in whatever you've just been
literally,
doing.
Yeah, exactly right.
Isolation.
Right. Well, that's it. Katie proves it here. It's not like the other ones. It's a bit different, but it's just interesting and it's great. So well done. Well done, Katie.
Let's talk about it. Back in it again this week. Here we go. Alrighty. So what is the greatest chips at a fast food restaurant? We all love hot chips. Can't go past them.
Absolutely. And I think we need to classify what is a fast food restaurant before we start here. So are we classifying the salsas, snits, Nando's. Are we classifying them in the debate?
I reckon we do. I reckon we would.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
Salsa and Schnitz have pretty good chips.
Incredible. Incredible.
Yeah. So where are you sitting on this, Toby?
Just like to start off, McDonald's, Hungry Jack's, even Red Rooster and KFC, atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Don't come near me with those chips. You come near me with those chips, I'm not talking to you. So I'm didn't even give them a second glance at being the greatest chips, and they're not even in contention, to be honest. Just thrown completely out the window. Don't want to see about that. And I reckon I'm gonna go with salsas. Salsas, you got that just red flavoring, that kind of, I don't know what it is, but it's really good.
Yeah, really you don't really hear anyone talking about the salsa chips, but I reckon they're probably definitely up there.
Absolutely. And they're a little bit on the expensive side. That's probably the only problem.
Oh, I wouldn't even know the price.
I think they are a little bit on the expensive side, but that's not what we're talking about anyway. We're talking about the what are the greatest chips, and you do get that crisp crunch of a sausage chip with the flavoring on top. Nothing beats it. I guarantee you pull those chips out, you've got a million people coming to you wanting, like, give me a chip, give me a chip, give me a chip. So, what are your thoughts?
I've got to disagree with you here. I reckon Hungry Jack's have got really good chips. I reckon their chips are really good. Wow. But they're not my favorite chips. I'd probably go Schnitz as my favorite chips. When I go to Schnitz, that's pretty much all I get. Every now and then I'll get like a schnitzel. But 9 times out of 10, I'm just getting the chips. If I'm walking past all the fast food restaurants, I'm going straight to Schnitz for my chips. And that's just...
Yeah. And that's what I've noticed about these kind of... Schnitz, very similar to salsas, is that when you're walking past them, it seems like there's a magnet just drawing you into those chips, isn't there?
Oh, it's great.
What can you do?
I even reckon grilled chips, actually. I don't know if we count grilled as fast food, but their chips are... Yeah,
they're not bad. We can count that. Yeah, we can count that.
But I'd go Schnitz, I reckon. Schnitz is...
Yeah, salsas for me. Yeah, so I think we can agree to disagree there. They're both pretty similar.
Yeah.
Pretty similar chips.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Leave us your thoughts. You can either send us a message or leave it down in the comments.
Absolutely.
What you think your favourite chips are. Okay. Couch Collective this week. Big one. Not losing. Remember, if you're 18, you have to be 18 to bet.
And even if you are 18, gamble responsibly.
Mm-hmm. We're going to start off here with our first leg. We've got Doos and Bears in the Korean baseball to win, I'm guessing. Outright betting is paying $4 for that one.
Yep.
Real chance here.
We're then running that into the esports. And we've got Team Liquid versus the OG seed. Big match. Team Liquid paying $1.36. So that'll be very interesting there. Be
great. Last week how many legs did we get up last week? I think we had 1 or 2 get up last week.
Oh yeah, we'll move on.
The draw. It was a draw, in fact, in soccer. So we're going with that again. We've got FC Meru versus FC Balkan, and that's paying $3 for a draw. So we're backing that in this week.
For sure. Back to the live league at home darts, and we've got my boy here, Glenn Durant. Glenn Durant is versing Vincent Van Der Meer. But Glenn Durant, I can't see him losing this one. He's a $1.28 favourite for the darts at home, so that's big. Big, and I think he takes that one out, Glenn Durant.
Beautiful. And here we go. We've got the horse racing again. This week we've got Pia Sophia in Hawkesbury this week. Pia Sophia? Is that a year? I think it's and that's paying $6.50, which brings the multi total to $135.78. But since we're putting $2 on again this week, we have potential returns of $271.56.
Huge. So if you have $1 to spare and you're 18 and you're gambling responsibly, maybe place a bet on that, because I'm telling you, last week was just a warm-up. This week is not losing.
Oh, yeah. Not losing. Won't lose.
Absolutely.
Sure. Good morning, Vietnam! Hey, this is not a test. This is rock and roll.
New segment here. New one this week. Starting
exciting.
Five.
Very exciting.
Do you want to give a rundown of it, Toby, of Starting Five?
Yeah, so basically we just had the idea of starting five. So we come up with a topic and both of us name our starting five. It's a basketball reference, the starting five on the court, basically the best five of that topic. And we both, I don't know yours, you don't know mine, I hope.
No. Yeah, no, we haven't.
And so we're announcing that to each other right now. And basically, if we get three of the same, I think we decided, isn't it? Well, for this one at least, three of the same, then there will be a consequence, which I think we were going to do a like random draw.
Yeah, for a giveaway or something. We'll sort that out. For any of our Instagram followers. So if you're following us, if you're not following us on Instagram and you want to be in this draw, if we get 3 out of 5, go chuck the Instagram and follow now. Yes. So this week we have done our starting 5 favorite movies. Yes, movies. Who doesn't love movies? Exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. So do you want to start us off with your number 5 and we'll see. Alrighty. This was a tough one. How we go. Tough one to sneak one in here. Yeah. I've gone for more of a comedy approach as my top 5. I'm more of a comedy man. 3 out of my 5 are comedies. So I'll start off. This was a tough one between 2 Seth Rogen movies here. I've got Pineapple Express written down. Yeah, wow. That was a tough one over, what's the other one? Superbad. That was a tough one. Yeah. But I've gone Pineapple Express. It always gives you a laugh. That movie is just grouse, and I just can't go past it. And Pineapple Express is one that definitely makes me laugh every time. So I've chucked that one in as my number 5 spot. What about yourself? Great movie. I've gone actually number 5 is the comedy approach as well. Oh, cool. But this is my only comedy approach in my top 5. And I'd also like to say I didn't account for any like trilogies or series. So a lot of my favorite movies are trilogies or series. Basically, if I could, I would have done all the Star Wars in the top 5. But anyway. So these are standalone movies. My first one is Wedding Crashers. Oh, yeah. And just gets me every single time. Every time it's on, I can't go past it. Completely inappropriate if you made it these days, but anyway. But just the Will Ferrell scene where he comes in at the end talking to Owen Wilson is one of my favourite scenes of all time, so I couldn't go past that at number 5. Yes, awesome. So we're starting with number 4. This one isn't a comedy, but I've got this is part of a series as well. But this is the Fast and the Furious, the first one. That's one of my favorite movies. Not the biggest fan of further ones in, but the first one is I don't know what it is about the movie. I just really like it and enjoy the movie. So yeah, I've got that one as my number 4 spot. Yep, my number 4 also not a comedy. Definitely not a comedy, but this one. Another one, bit of a longer movie. Just one of my absolute favourites. I've seen it too many times. Saving Private Ryan at number 4 for me. So that is, if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favour. It's just absolute belter of a movie. Just gets me every time. Awesome. Then here at number 3, I've got, different from all the other ones, I've gone Bohemian Rhapsody. I love that movie. Big fan of Queen myself. And I just, greatest movie. I went and saw that twice in the cinemas, and I've just watched it 100 times since it's come out on DVD. And I just love that movie. It's just awesome. Yeah, so, for sure. Yeah, that's my number 3 spot. I'm sure last week's guest would be very happy with that choice. Yeah, Muzzy. Zach. So shout out Zach if he's listening. Yeah. My number 3, again, bit of a completely different approach. I'm not sure if many people would know about this one. Martin Scorsese film, The Departed, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Matt Damon. One of my absolute favourites. Just, have you seen The Departed? I don't think I've heard of that movie actually. So it's one character is like in a gang and they're undercover in the police force, and then the other character is in the police force undercover in a gang, and they're just trying to find each other the whole movie. So. It's just one of the great. I guess you could kind of call it a bit of a thriller, crime kind of thriller, but it's just keeps me captivated the whole time, and I've rewatched it multiple times, and the ending is phenomenal. So yeah, awesome. Then at number 2, a comedy. I know a few of my closer mates, Nick, Harry, Jack, Liam. Grown Ups, we all love this movie with Adam Sandler. Just a movie that I used to watch growing up, and it's just funny. Just the Adam Sandler humor is just my sort of humor, and it just gets me every time. And the funeral scene is one that is just one of my favorite scenes of all time. It's just hilarious. So yeah, that's taking my number 2 spot. So yeah,
I actually, I'm not even kidding. That was almost my number 5.
Oh, was
between
it?
that and that and Wedding Crashers. I reckon that was absolute classic. And Step Brothers actually for the
Step Brothers. Yeah, that was close to coming in as well. Actually,
but I've gone number 2, completely opposite to what you've gone. I've gone The Shawshank Redemption, and I think everyone knows about Shawshank Redemption. Just great movie. Morgan Freeman, Tim Robbins, I think, is the other character. But just absolute great movie. One of my favourites. Seen it a million times, and every single time just keeps getting better. So
yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff. And now the big number 1, this movie, big Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't know what it is about this movie. I've watched it, God knows how many times. It just hits different. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I watched it again the other night, and I was like, oh, this is a great movie. And I was talking to a couple of people about it. A few of them didn't even know what it was, and I was really surprised with that.
Really?
Yeah, but it's one of my favorite movies. So it probably is my favorite movie of all time. So I love that movie. So if you haven't watched it, I really recommend it. Great movie. So.
Yep, and then I've got number 1 is 7.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we spoke about this earlier in the week, but it's just, this is a crime kind of thriller. Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey. It's just absolute. The first time I watched it, I was just amazed by everything. So the whole way through, the ending, everything's just great. And rewatched it. I don't know how many times, multiple times, but it's just fantastic. Keeps me engaged, and I love it. So that's my number 1. Awesome. 7.
Great. Awesome. So we all hope you enjoy that segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we're going to, each, as Toby said, each week we'll have something different. Like we might have music or like songs or albums or actors, actresses, or anything. So
definitely.
You can send us some suggestions.
Send us your ideas of what we should do.
Yeah.
For next week's starting 5. Hope you like the idea.
Yes.
I think that wraps up.
It does wrap up today.
Episode 4.
Episode 4. Wow. It's going quick.
I know. It actually has. Yeah. Very quick.
Yes, it's awesome. And thanks again for Lachy coming on.
Yeah. Once again, thank you to Lachy Batterham for coming on board the podcast this week. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening and sending in all your questions and.
Absolutely. Continue to stay involved.
Yes. Some big things coming soon, hopefully. So
very keen to announce that. Yes. So that'll be great.
Yep. Awesome.
So thank you all.
Yes,
and we will see you next week.
Beautiful. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.